Good morning, everybody. Andy again here from 45 North Farm, coming to you from the homestead this morning. And I just wanted to make a quick video to show you what we got going on here as far as a shower station and a place to wash your hands and do dishes, things to that effect. When I bought this place up here, what are we going on, about 5 years ago now, it was absolutely raw land. So there was no, nothing was cleared even. So spent a lot of time clearing land, getting dirty, having fun getting dirty. It was some good labor, good for your soul. And but at the end of the day, I was like, oh man, I gotta go to sleep in my sleeping bag in the tent, or whatever I had going on in the back of the truck. And if you're like me, you don't mind getting dirty and nasty, but if you can go to bed clean, it makes your sleep that much better. So what I would do is either, I'd have some water I'd bring up and just take a washcloth and kind of wipe myself down, or head down to the headwaters of the local river, which was excruciatingly cold. But very invigorating after a hot day's work, and take a bath in the river, just kind of wipe everything off and towel off and be good to go. Figured there's got to be a better way to go about doing business, because that was just cold, and I had to drive. So it would have been nice here, but I wasn't going to sink a well, didn't have the money for it. So I was really looking for another option on how to get to where we are. So I had a winter. If you're aware, winters up here in northern Michigan are long. I don't spend them up here. Do a lot of outdoor activities up here during the winter, but got a lot of time on my hands. So I dreamed up what we see standing behind me, where you have a sink, a shower, and then over here, and I'll show it in depth a little bit later, is a water collection site. So basically, in essence, what I did is I came up with this kind of lean-to style roof. It takes all the water, comes down, collects in a gutter, and I'll show you all this behind here, and fills up our water barrels here. And then I got you can see the solar panel up here, powers a 12-volt DC system. I got a DC RV pump, and so that cranks on. You can use the water, you can take a shower, and things were great. So we got this thing going. It's just like, man, we come from nothing to this. So we modified that even more too. So, one of the complaints we got is, for me, it wasn't a big deal. It's taking cold showers. And I mean, these are cold. So this water is just, there's no heater element to it or anything. It's what you get from the ambient air temperature. And, it gets pretty chilly at night up here sometimes, and it saps all that heat right out of the water. And so you get a very cold shower. Not a big deal. But to some of our visitors, it was a big deal. And I was like, well, I could actually go for something too. So in a previous video, I showed our thermal water heaters, and those are installed. You can see one right here and kind of one over here. And those are amazing. So now I have hot water, not only at the tap, so when we're doing dishes and other things, you also have a shower. And it makes all the difference in the world just to have a little bit of 10-degree difference. Now the water gets really hot. Actually, it gets scalding hot. Depends on what time of day it is. So that's been an amazing addition as well. But as you can see, there's lights right behind me. Those are DC powered. There's lights on the inside. Now I'll break everything down, but this has been amazing because I haven't had to sink a well. Once again, you see, I'm not on the grid, so we don't have electrical. So everything has to be self-contained. That panel has been working amazing. I believe it's a 100-watt panel, and I want to say it's about a 75 amp hour. We'll go over that more too. Battery, and that's been running for 2 or 3 years now, and it's just been great. No complaints whatsoever. So got this built, and like I said, amazing. It's really been a game changer up here. I can do dishes, take a shower. That's a big one, because I just get dirty and nasty. A lot of hard labor getting the homestead and the farm to where I need to be. And it's just nice at the end of the day to be able to get clean and get a good night's sleep. So we'll go over it more here in the detail, and stick around. All right, so back to business. The biggest thing was to get the water. Like I said, I don't have a running stream. Really, I haven't explored a shallow well yet. I still want to do some research on that. So don't really know to water depth. I looked at some of the records around the area. Wells are generally 200 feet, so that's a lot of money. That's going to be a house time project. So really what we came up with is this lean-to, behind me. We're on the back side of it now. And all that collects the water. You can see I got the gutter system that goes from both sides and then feeds down through here to the water collection system. So what I came up with is I just started sourcing locally to see what was out there. And Facebook Marketplace was an awesome deal for me, because then I found these water barrels that are right behind me. Not water barrels. I use them for water barrels, but I think they're pickle barrels. And they're right around 66 or 63 gallons a piece. I got 6 of them. Once we get the spring rains that come around, I have water the rest of the year until fall when I drain it. I've never had an issue of running out, and that's taking showers. I got a spigot. Actually, you can see that right there. I wash the tractor, I wash my truck. I can do everything. So never come close to running out of water, and it's great. So I'll show you in detail what we got going on here. All right, so we're talking about the water collection. You can see this gutter runs the entire length of my structure here, of the lean-to structure. Collects here at this point from the elbow, runs down, and then you can see here where it goes into this first barrel. And we're topped off. We've had a lot of rains lately. What I have, and you can't, I don't know if you can really see it too well. And we got somewhat of a glare. But I took these little pond baskets. I believe they're used for putting your plants in, for water plants and whatnot. And I use that as like a first level strainer, so it keeps the big garbage out of my tanks. So you can see here, I got 6 of them. Like I said, these are pickle barrels. I got them off Marketplace locally. And here's my drain. So at the end of the year, here's how I drain everything out. I do live in the northern climates, and everything will freeze rock solid and destroy everything. So you can see how I got it plumbed. I got unions along the way. The system can be completely broken down, drained, and put up for the winter. So for me, that's important. Otherwise, I'm going to have a mess come spring and have to replumb everything. We used an aggregate bed. I want to say it was 22 AA stones that we got with fines, so it really made a good base. And then we came along with the cinder blocks. I know there's a lot of cinder blocks there, but there's a lot of weight on these from these water barrels, and these things haven't sunk or moved or done anything. I did bring them out further because I wanted to keep people and things away from the lines that run on the outside. So I didn't want anybody running into anything, stuff to that effect. So it does have a little, yep, I had pause in the action there. My dog decided to get a little loud, but yeah, you can see me off the glare. But this is what I have. Like I said, everything's joint together all the way around. And then I used these fittings here, just cut through the barrels. Those are bulkhead fittings, a little dirty right now. Just like I said, we got a lot of rain, so a lot of splatter everywhere. But more unions so I can completely disassemble this whole system and drain it out and put it up for the winter. So this is the collection part of it, and then we go to the pump system. So what I did is I drilled a hole through this particular barrel here, and I'm not going to take it apart now, but I have another strainer for the pickup on this water. So let me come back over here real quick. And what happens is the comes through. So this is our point of origin here, and we have another filter here, and then the plumbing comes up through there, and I don't know if this is gonna work, and then over into this housing here. And what I have there is that 12-volt pump, and I'll show you here in a second. Let me get to a better spot where I can video, but that houses the pump that supplies the water. So I'll be right back. All right, so I was talking about that pump, and here we go. Using a Seaflow professional grade. I think it's a marine pump. And it works great. It's 12 volt, 8 amp, and it can run 45 PSI. So if you see my fittings in there as well, everything's made to be tore apart. So I take this pump out too in the winter, bring it home, keep it in some decent temperature. That way I don't have to worry about anything freezing and cracking. And all this is CPVC, and just ran it just like you would any other plumbing. So coming back through, like I said, here's my pickup. You can see more unions along the way, and back down into there. If anything, you know, like I might at some point redo this and bring it to the furthest barrel away, because after thinking more and dealing with the system now for, I've had about 3 years, I'd probably get a little bit cleaner water. Not my water is dirty, but I just think, you know, by the time if I picked it up out of the last barrel, it has all that room to drop, and so I think we'd have better water. But like I said, I've never had any issues. We don't drink this, so that's one thing too. We don't drink any of this water. It's just used for washing and that effect. We don't have that down yet as far as filtration to the point where we can consume it. All right, so we went over the pump, the water pickup, now to the shower. I got corrugated steel from another project, and really kind of wanted to tie everything in. I'm not an interior decorator, but I'm like, hey, some of this stuff's cool and I like it. And, you know, this has been around for ages in barns and stuff. So I'm like, well, it's going to weather good out here. So I got this huge door. I wanted plenty of room to be able to get in here. And so here's the inside of the shower area. And my good friend Mark was able to score some standing plastic area for me. I don't know what you really want to call these, but they're able to drain out. And you can see below here is the drain. And all I did for that was I dug out. You can actually see, I don't know if you can see it in the video very well, but it does run. It is graded to run down there. And I took a 5-gallon bucket, lined the bottom of the hole with some aggregate, filled the bucket full of aggregate. The tube runs down into the bucket. I drilled holes, hundreds of holes all over the bucket, and then packed around the sides and top of the bucket with more aggregate. So that works pretty good. And so here's a shower area. You can see I have, we'll go over this plumbing. And so I got the water feed coming here. This main one here where it branches off and goes up, we'll cover this in a minute, but you can kind of see there's a black box up there, and that's the solar water heater. So that goes through the PEX, and I really detail that in another video, and then comes back down to this over here, which is my mixer. Probably could have done it a little bit different, but I used what I had on hand, and it works great. These lower ones here, like I said, northern Michigan, so our climate doesn't allow me to keep this thing in operation year-round, so I do have to blow the lines out. And I do not use antifreeze, so I just have a hookup that I use for compressed air. And so you go to the lowest point you can on these lines to drain that water, so I open these up. So those stay closed when we're in operation. And then this is going to be your hot water feed, and this is your cold water feed. And then that comes up over to the shower head, which it's one of these cool ones that has all the different settings, which is like, yeah, that's cool. I don't know. Got the jet setting, the pulse. I'm like, why not? It was on clearance at Lowe's, so I figured why not spoil myself a little bit. And then that plumbing comes back down. Once again, this is like the main. This is all 1/2 inch. This has been working out good. I didn't know if I need maybe 3/4 and then run to 1/2 inch, so I figured I'd try it. But then this feeds over to the sink area. So finishing up in here, I have hooks that I put up for washcloths and towels and your clothes. So if they're all nasty, you can come in and do what you need to do. More hooks. And then also, as well as one thing that I was thinking of, I was like, well, if I'm going to run the 12-volt system, let's get some lights in here. So if it's the middle of the night and I want to have lights in my shower. There we go. And these are, I want to say these are RV lights, the ones that go on the sides of trailers. And these throw out some really good light, so it's really nice to have. Long day and you're like, man, I just need to take a shower. We got lights, and I wired these up, and you can see we got the electric wire loom all around everything. So all the wires are pretty well protected. I know part of my mess out there, I had to kind of throw everything out to the side, but here's the switch. I just used a regular one, and that door is loud. And that's rubberized, it's sealed up, and it's a 12-volt system, so really shouldn't have any concerns. I haven't been shocked yet, so I'm not overly concerned. It works good. I'm happy with it, and like I said, yeah, it's a shower. And mounted this big latch. Oop. And that works good. As you can see on the construction too, we have 4x4s. We'll go over that in a little bit. But works good. And not by design, I can actually park my riding lawnmower inside of here when I put everything up. So that works out really, really good. Happy with how that system worked. All right, coming over to the sink area. So we got our shower. I was like, man, it'd be nice to have some place to do dishes. Because all I had is another water barrel, and it works, but hey, you know. So we scored this and landed on this concept. And once again, you can see water supply breaks off, goes up to this overhead box. And you can see the roof too. One of the things that I thought about when we were designing this is to have the most amount of light. That way we don't have to have lights on or anything like that. So we used this clear, I think it's like fiberglass based corrugated roofing. No complaints whatsoever. So back to this though, the plumbing comes down here, and that feeds our hot water. We'll go down here. And so there's our system there. I do have to break those hoses off when I winterize. But then I just leave those unhooked and open all winter long. Haven't had an issue. Once again, same thing with the drain system here. It's a dry well system with the aggregate. This one I think I'm gonna have to expand on a little bit. It's not working like I want to. We do get some backups, but for the most part, no complaints. But here's our water. You know what? I didn't show you the shower. I'll go back and do that. But we do have hot. It takes a little bit. It's still morning time. There we go. So it's warm and it works. My friend Mark scored this sink. It's an old farm sink, really cool farmhouse sink off Marketplace. I want to say it's like 20 or 25 bucks, and perfect for my needs, just absolutely perfect. So nice to have there. And coming up over here, once again, you can see the plumbing. This runs over. And I wanted to have a spigot for my hoses and stuff. So, see, that works good. Got some noise in the system. That's normal just from that pump. I haven't tweaked a whole lot yet. But, you know, the basics are there. I also have electric here. So, same system. Got the RV lights. And, awesome when you need to come out here and do something at night. And then as well, I got these outside lights, and these are LEDs, and they throw off just enough light to make everything give you some glow, feel a little bit safer at night, especially when there's noise out in the woods right behind us. So once again, those were wired in, and we got these systems here. I just cut the holes in the plates and made that work. So go back here real quick, just because I didn't show you. But here is the shower. And I'm trying to make that noise go away. There we go. So shower, like I said, it works. It's great. You can stand underneath. Most of that water hits the drain. Don't have any issues with backup. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing like taking a shower outside in the open air like this. It's pretty cool. I dig it. So there's the water collection and the delivery system. I'm gonna hop up top here and show you what we got going on with the water heaters and the power system. So we'll be right back. All right, so we're back here, and on the roof, just wanted to show you the solar heater for our water. And I made that previous video. This is not my design, but I got it from another YouTuber, and these things are awesome. They work great. What we have here is two, I think, 100-foot rolls of PEX. I made a double decker on this one, and covered it, painted everything black. And what it is, it's just awesome. It collects that heat from the sun and heats that water up. So I have hot water and just the basic fittings. I don't have any quick disconnects here, but these are all, I can blow these lines out too in the winter through the bottom, so not a big deal. I think the biggest thing when you're doing anything like this is that PEX degrades in the sunlight over time, so make sure you hit it really good with paint. Yeah, so this is the roof. I have the solar panel right there, and I believe is a 100-watt panel, and produces way enough power for what my application is. So that's a Renogy panel. Like I said in other videos, I use Renogy products. I like them. I've had good results with them. I'm not getting paid anything by Renogy or getting any kickbacks. Just wanted to let you guys know that that's the products I'm using, and they work great. And then here's my other water heater, and that's part of that's the one that goes for my shower. So I got two separate ones. That one works the shower, and this one over here is for my sink area. So a lot of thought going into what we want to do. Could I have done like a barrel system, almost like a radiant heat, with fire and all that? Yeah, I could have totally, really probably made an awesome one too. But thing is, I didn't want to start a fire and then have to wait and this and that. So this is an easier solution, more of a passive system that I don't have to really mess around with and get the results that I'm looking for. So a lot of thought that has to go into these systems and how you want to move forward, and I think this was the best option for us for what we have here. So two of the heaters in our solar power panel. All right, so we had there is my basically solar box, and there's our solar panel right there, and wiring comes down. I do have a drip loop here because it is very exposed, and try to keep that water from running down. So I have the flex loom there for the wire, comes down into my box, and there's my master switch. Quite didn't go how I wanted to. Notice the chunk, but live and learn. And then here's the box where I keep everything with the solar power. So we'll try to get this without breaking anything. All right, there we go. All right. So similar to what I have in the cabin, I just made a box out here. It's protected from the weather, and what you're looking at is the charge controller. It's called a Wanderer, and really it's not a whole lot to this one. I don't have a lot of amps and power running through everything, so it's a real simple system. It's a 100-watt panel, and then we got our leads coming in from the solar panel. The charge controller does its thing, and then it goes out to the battery. So you can change, you have options for the battery. If you're using sealed or gel or lithium, you just change the button there, and that does it. So try to keep our wiring as clean as we can. I left extra wire in there because you never know what you're going to need. And I take that back. Here's my battery. It's a 12 volt, 35 amp hour. For some reason I thought it was 70 something, but I went with the 35 amp. And that's plenty of juice to do what I want to do. So then you look kind of over here, and that's the switch. That's our master switch here. Got the fuse that's in line there. We got our positive bus bar and our negative bus bar. And we're doing pretty good on this project too. Must have ran short of wire, so I had to go with the red on that one. But yeah, so everything's in here. The wires come in, and works great. I've had no issues whatsoever, and this powers our entire system. So just a kind of a neat, clean setup. Doesn't require a whole lot. Like I said, we pulled the home runs for our power system, and this is what we ended up with. So really no complaints. And one thing I wanted to add, I didn't show this. We have a motion sensor light, and I got these fairly cheap off of Amazon. And you gotta love it, right? The hypocrisy of being quote unquote off grid, but yet buy stuff off of Amazon. But hey, I do my best. This is great. And it's 30 watt. It's a DC light, and it's motion detected. And then when this thing goes off, it lights this whole area. So the reason I have this here is if you take a look, right over here is my outhouse. So when you come here at night, one of the things was like, man, it's dark over here. So that kicks on and that lights up everything. And you can see we made the same type of roof with the outhouse. So that lit up by this guy here solves a lot of problems. All right, so we went over the whole water collection, delivery, and electrical system. So just want to talk real quick really about the structure that we used, and really, you know, what you're looking at is 4x4 construction for the uprights. Those were sunk. I want to say we did 4 foot, right about 4 foot. So it gets us below the frost line for any heaving. These things have been rock solid. We haven't had any issues. Like I said, this has been up for a couple years now. But it runs up to, we just took carriage bolts. Looking back, I would have liked to at least notch one of those sides into the 4x4s to carry that weight instead of the bolts. But it's really not a ton of weight. But I would have, you know, looking back, if there's always a reflection of what I could have done different, I would have notched those. But you can see here, we got carriage bolts that hold those, the front and back. Those are 2x6s. We do have straight runs. I didn't have to seam them or anything, which worked out good. And then just some cross bracing. This particular one, we took lag bolts and just put those right into the 4x4s out here. So it's another 2x6, 2x4 trusses per se. And those are notched and notched in the back as well. And this thing's been solid. You got to figure I get upwards of 4 feet of snow sometimes on the ground. And you know, there's nothing heating this up. So the snow sticks around for quite some time on here. And, you know, I just did some cross bracing to add some support. And I haven't had any issues. So snow load's a big consideration where I'm at up here. You know, maybe another one, who knows. This has been working out great. But, you know, if I were to do something different, maybe I would have ran 2x6 trusses too on that, made my own. So that's where we're at. Everything's worked out good. Like I said, no complaints as far as the, and you can probably see a lot of flies. We got a really bad fly problem this year. I don't know what's going on, but this is, it's worked out great. 4x4s, 2x6s for the main framing, and then just 2x4s. And then I finished out the, took Thompson's water seal and sealed everything up. So, you know, avoid any rot. And it looks good and it's holding up good. So I'm very happy with this whole situation, and really nice to change your life so you have shower and sink options. So there we have it. Start to finish, awesome project. Really a game changer between this, the outhouse, and our cabin. Man, you can live up here without an issue. You lose this during the wintertime. Obviously, it's just not happening. I'm not taking a shower when it's 10 degrees out, plus my lines would blow out anyways. But from when I put it together in April through the beginning of November, it's just awesome. Take a shower, be able to do your dishes, and then that expands out from there. With the dishes, we get the smoker out, so we'll have a good barbecue because then we can clean our mess up. Everything just kind of comes in line. So real simple, easy living, doing what we can with what we got, and having a good time doing it too. Everything's just been a learning lesson as we go through this. Learning from our failures, which I think is cool. Nowadays it seems like, oh, if you fail, man, that's it. But I look at failing as, all right, cool, I'm going to make it better next time, and I'm going to do it better next time because now I know what not to do, and we're not going to let it happen again. So a lot of lessons learned as I go along doing this. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button. Let me know that you're checking these videos out. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to have projects between stuff like this and working on the farm. We have our bees, we have our orchard. I got grapes that, we got grapevines that are starting to go now. We're going to be out in the woods a lot, clearing trails, setting up hunting blinds, things to that effect. So a lot of exciting things going on that we're doing up here at 45 North Farm. So hope you're liking what you're seeing. Hit that like button. Let me know you're checking these videos out. Subscribe. And shoot us a comment. Love to hear what you have to say. Any ideas. I love YouTube just because if I get a crazy idea, I want to see if somebody else did it before me, and then I can see what they did and make it, work for me or, whatever. So just love to hear what you got to say. Drop us a comment, and I hope everyone has a great day and you guys take care.